the place. Hey there, everybody. It is Thursday night here on WebDM Twitch. How is everyone doing out there? Thank you for joining us this evening as we venture back into the land between two rivers. Let's go ahead and see how everybody's doing and how their week was. And Grant, want to kick us off?
Yes. My name is Grant Ellis, and I play role-playing games on the internet because they're very fun. I think it's been a long work day for everyone. It's like, is Grant going to come with a rap? Is he going to come with a pro wrestling promo? No! I don't even have my sunglasses!
You gotta tone it down every now and then.
I know. I'm dimming down the lights. I want everyone to see the real naked Grant Ellis.
There we go.
I don't like when I do this and I'm starting to sag. I need a little support.
Full nude Grant Ellis.
I'm gonna hold my books like this now.
Sure. While Grant's body undergoes mysterious and strange changes, how's Lindy doing?
I'm doing pretty spiffy, a little sleepy, but it's all good because Mur is very sleepy too. So we're gonna be playing a little Drow College of Whispers on a vengeance, very tired, exhausted vengeance. It's gonna be great.
It's going to be just great. Everything's going to be perfect and fine. Excellent.
I have some ideas, so.
I can't wait to hear them. TK, how are you?
I'm doing great. I had 3 pieces of cake for lunch. So things are amazing right now. I can taste colors. I'm having a great day.
Excellent.
Ready to play my lizard folk ranger. We're gonna go beat up some bad guys.
We're gonna get some bad guys.
Yeah.
Your broodling has been attacked. And,
yes.
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
There we go. And Anna, how are you?
Hello. I think I'm also on the tired boat.
No.
But that's because I'm addicted to Monster Hunter. And I played for way too late last night. But anyway, hello, my name is Anna. I'm going to be playing Ellie, the human barbarian. I don't know what words are anymore either. I have lost all knowledge. Kind of like Ellie. So
there we go. It's the role playing is going to come very easy tonight, I think. And Josh, fresh off of a move, yeah? Doing all right?
I moved.
Yes.
Just anyone who's ever moved knows exactly how I feel.
Exactly.
So also fresh. Not at all fresh. We're here with some high energy D&D tonight on Land Between Two Rivers as we hype it up. It's all right. Sometimes reality does exert its cruel will upon us. But you know what you can do? You can always visit Tabletop Loot to check out some dice, shirts, dice jails, and all other sorts of game accessories for your role-playing needs, as they are a sponsor of our show. Go check them out. Sports show, support our sponsor, Tabletop Loot. There you go. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, was a near tragedy as a mysterious assassin attempted to eliminate the adopted daughter of the party, Ellie. And while the assassin was not successful, it did render Ellie quite in pain and disabled her for a time as the party scrambled to deal with the ramifications of a smear campaign leveled against Mur, who was taken away for questioning by the new warden in town, Ishtar, and her posse. The party gathered together at Mur's townhouse to see what they could do to restore Ellie to full health and perhaps mount a rescue for Mur when Ishtar let Mur go. And sort of everyone seems to go their separate ways for a bit and reconvened at Mur's townhome with Helen Highwater, the preserver member of the fellowship, who sped them along on Mur's sandskip to the Tree of Andrus, where they performed a healing ritual on Ellie to remove the poison from her system and restore her to full health. It was there that Ellie joined with the Arch-Hierophant Thrax to perhaps seek out some sort of clue or information. What could the Great Tree tell Ellie about this assailant of hers and a potential connection to her? And the Great Tree felt a similar essence traveling across the landscape, approximately a day ahead of the party, traveling roughly northeast from where they are now. And that's where we're going to pick up. The rays of the sun are beginning to brighten the horizon, and the early morning hours are sort of over, and the day is about to begin, ladies and gentlemen. So we're at the Great Tree of Andrus. I had a couple of questions for our players here. Number one, the skiff that Mur has is not enough to bring really more than one or two of the servitors with you. So what would Gildan have done in those moments when they left Trade Town? What would you do with the servitors that were there?
Oh. Do you want... Sorry, I need to take those off. So let's see. Let's actually work this out in my head. So what Gildan would do with the servitors that we were leaving behind. First and foremost, he would want a group of 4 servitors to scout at range and see if they can spot the pyramid and see if it is under guard. If it's not under guard, he would dispatch roughly 1/3 of the servitors in the middle of the night to go into the pyramid, and I know it's most largely buried, and to begin dwelling inside. The rest of them he would send up to the other servitor autonomous commune to attempt to teach them how to work the land, teach them their creation myth, and show them that they are in fact strong, and to, quote, rebuild them and restore them to their original glory. Because right now, these commune living servitors are viewed by the others as broken servitors. They must be restored to their glory.
Okay.
So we're going to lift them up.
Lift them up. Gildan had sent those off then before everyone made their way to the Tree of Andrus, and presumably they're carrying out your task.
And they're literally carrying an effigy of Gildan before them, like on a stick. Just, behold the great prophet of the waste. Behold your father, goblin.
With effigy, I'll make a note. Effigy.
I hope it doesn't get burned.
Don't worry, I got it in the notes.
And before the party had left Trade Town, Icky had also sent off a letter on Skitter Step to someone within Trade Town, and kind of curious what Icky's plans are to rendezvous with the recipient of that letter.
The letter would have had some Draconic written on it, just instructing the kobolds and stuff that are in that same general area. They all know where he would be able to find Icky. So if she is not in town, she's likely at the Great Tree or at Baloo's outpost.
Okay. Sounds good. Questions answered then. All right. Morning has arrived upon the land, and everyone except for Mur has, been woken refreshed and ready to start the day. Mur is dealing with 2 levels of exhaustion at this point from having missed 2 nights sleep and had her dreams invaded by some sort of nightmare spell. Now, kind of curious what y'all's plans are for this day and sort of where you're at this moment.
I think Ellie, as soon as she got her answer of her evil twin, she is going to run back after she thanked him, she's gonna go and run back to where the rest of the squad was. And whoever's not awake, I'm just gonna be like, wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I know where the evil twin is. We have to go northeast. And maybe I think she's about a day's away. Can we go now? Should we go now? Wait, no, we should have practice first. I brought some bugs. And I give each one of them one.
Thank you, Ellie.
I'll eat my bug. Gladly.
I kind of do a little magic trick with it as if I've made it disappear in my hand. And then and it's like really bad too, where it's like, ah, and I throw it to the other one.
That's amazing.
Leg wriggling out of my mouth.
That's pretty cool.
You did it.
They're flowers. They're a dove. Now they're money. Sorry, magic's silly.
Magic is silly. Let's be honest.
Sorry, I had to stay muted. My husband just got home and the garage door is like right under my office. So it's like, yeah, Icky just eats hers and she's ready to go. Like if Ellie is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so Ellie and Icky are making ready to go. How about everybody else? Somebody else?
Oh. Well, so we spent the night helping cast this spell to help Ellie.
For the most, yes, you did.
Which it's good that Ellie's well.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually very good that Ellie's well.
Mm-hmm.
There would nothing. There would just there would be jubilance.
Sounded like there was a butt coming.
Yeah, I think the butt was. I'm hot right now, so it's hard for me to think. Hold on, let me refresh.
Refresh then.
Sponsored by.
Celis? I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway.
Who knows?
No, we should get the move on. He thinks if he can get close to her, we can find her.
Okay.
He feels like he's unlocked new magic by communing with the tree.
Gotcha. All right. So now we've got Blue, Icky, and Ellie all sort of itching to go there. Curious about Mer's state of mind this morning.
What are you gonna do, Mer?
She's gonna grumble and get a cup of something caffeinated and probably bitch to Helen a little bit about how tired she is, but I just don't understand how you sleep near this tree. I slept horribly last night. Oh my gosh, but at least Ellie's good. That's what is important right now. So
Mer, what's wrong? What happened?
I just having this dream, this recurring dream, this nightmare the past couple of nights that I just haven't been sleeping well, and there's the whole, the drama stuff going on. It's just
I see. If you're having trouble sleeping and she sort of catches herself. Well, the orc that Ishtar travels with she specializes in dreams, I think.
That one?
Yes.
Of course. Works with this stuff.
It's too bad. But I can perhaps help you out if you need if you're tired.
I feel exhausted.
And she offers to
too.
perform some restorative
Mer would accept.
as well.
She likes Helen a lot.
All right. And we'll cast a lesser restoration then from her repertoire.
Does a lesser restoration work?
Does a lesser restoration work? I'm trying to remember now. This is...
Because I think I looked at it picking up my own spells.
I'm pretty sure greater.
Oh, is it greater? That's going to get it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's greater.
They lock that shit down.
That's what I was suspecting. Can Helen do during this? She can get rid of one of them.
Okay.
Some of the high-ranking members, their magic is considerably boosted
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why they all hang out at the
Hang
tree.
out at the tree, yeah, because
Right.
they feel better.
Mhm.
I'm so strong here.
Yeah. So it's all the least I can do. But
Oh, you're so kind, Ellen. Appreciate it greatly.
are you leaving with the others?
I believe so. The fact that Ellie was attacked and in my own home, nonetheless, it is quite disturbing.
Yes. I hope that you're successful. I've reached out to Josiah, who Mur would know is her superior in Trade Town, the person who is sort of in the top spot.
Okay.
He seems to think that this business with Ishtar will die down, that she will relent, but he didn't seem concerned when I spoke with him. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on and talk to him without talking to you first. I was concerned.
It is fine. Just make sure you look after yourself. I'm going to go bring some justice to the person who attempted to murder Ellie.
Do be careful.
Oh, I feel like I'm not a half movement anymore, but I'm still really tired.
In your ache in your bones, tired. All right. Well then, y'all about to prepare to make an overland journey during the day right now. So give me an idea of how you prepare for that and what your kind of goal is to sort of find her. Because Ellie, you had an idea of what direction the essence was headed in, and you could kind of understand where that is, but like you're not still tracking and kind of have a connection with her anymore.
So I'm not sure which way is northeast, but if anybody has a map, or Blue, you're really good at smelling stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that way.
Wow. So amazing. It's a direction.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
You know that northeast of here is, there's a stretch of grassland that the Fellowship controls, and then beyond that, it gets into hilly terrain, sort of grassy hills, and then the higher elevation you get, it gets more rocky. It's not far from where Baloo has been digging out this cave. It's sort of just kind of north of where that is. And it's also, or you would know, it's in the general vicinity of where you have one of your bolt holes, your hideaways.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Keep that in mind.
So that is the direction, or that's sort of the terrain that's in the direction where you last picked up.
How are we moving overland? Because we're still summer. We're still third sun, summertime, right?
Correct.
Do we have a covered wagon?
Well, I could cast Liamon's tiny hut on top of it, and we all just stay inside.
Does it work like that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
If the structure's big enough.
Yeah.
The skiff is big enough. Yeah.
Cool.
Why not?
Okay.
I like it.
Very well then. The party gets in the skiff.
So we got it looks like a little space skiff now. It's got a dome over top of it.
Like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Jane, his wife.
There is
that little sound effect. I love that sound effect.
I once went to a diner and I put the Jetsons theme song on repeat 41 times. They threw me out of the place.
Oh no.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't understand.
They let it get to 41 times.
I don't understand why they would stop.
Just popping quarters. The Jetsons theme again and again.
I'm curious why they had the Jetsons theme song.
I'd have just fed it a 5 and been like, nah, leave.
So the party gets in the air skiff with its elemental bound nature, and Myrrh creates this secure shelter there to make sure that
Very
the parties
comfortable.
are alive. Very comfortable. And you zip across the grassland immediately north of the tree of Andrus. So this skiff moves pretty quickly, and you're confident that you will be able to you're confident that you'd be able to get to where you need to get going by the end of the day.
Okay.
What does everyone do on this particular journey? Because it's not a very long one, right? Like, you guys are just making a trip at this point.
I'm probably driving.
Myrrh's driving.
Myrrh's a controlled freak, paranoid person. Yeah, she's driving.
Okay.
Oh, Gilden's sitting along beside her with Patata.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, what is Patata?
Patata is a
my newest form of torment.
Yes. So I had a tuber of some sort of sturdy food of the earth, high in fiber, that I have animated to be Myrrh's new protector. And this is Patata, the potato goblin, made in Gilden's own image. And he will serve her and protect her for all of her days.
Somehow, I feel like this is better than the hack puppet, but not by a lot in Myrrh's eyes.
I serve you. And he has songs like 99 bottles of beer on the wall, like the whole ride.
Okay.
The small animate potato.
Just small fries.
Yeah, just small fry.
Wait, yes, and Patata identifies as female, and oh my gosh, Myrrh. It's Patu reincarnated as potato.
In a potato form.
Patu?
Oh
Patu in potato form.
Patu is a legendary character that I've portrayed on the internet, a
I love
dragonborn
Patu.
Christian rocker who's very open about her sexuality.
But she serves Tiamat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better believe it. Fucking love Tiamat. She's my bitch. I love her.
Oh my god.
We're not going down there. Yes, but Patata and Gilden.
Gilden produces another tiny servant, an animate potato, and uses it to entertain the party on the journey. As
I'm waiting till I get to shoot this thing with an I-beam.
Right. As you're traveling across the canals and tall grass of the Fellowship lands there, you find that your journey is detoured somewhat as a bridge over one of these canals that you could use is in disrepair and not, it looks like part of it was collapsed and broken, and it is not able to, you're not able to actually like get over it. You got to take a detour around it. As of course, these skiffs notoriously difficult to control over water is why.
Back to the Future rules.
Sure, right.
Mm-hmm.
So party, you guys have a choice. It's still fairly early on in your journey. You can take the detour. It'll add a little bit of time, or you can, I don't know, see if there's anything else that you can do at this broken bridge.
Does it look like it's been sabotaged or anything else like that? I mean, that's a vague question, Jim. Feel free to say no. But does it look like there's any kind of foul play? Can I do an investigation?
So are you getting out of the secure shelter then? Is Baloo getting out of there?
Yeah. How would he accomplish that? Could he turn into a giant fire beetle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, I'm assuming you guys have all of the survival gear you would need for your trip, right? So that would include covering.
That's true.
And things like that. You guys are residents and citizens of this place. You know how to keep yourself alive for the most part here. So
I'll just wear my cloak.
Have, like your cover.
Okay.
Okay. Not stop you from turning into a fire beetle.
Maybe I'll turn into a fire beetle with a cloak, but for now, just the cloak.
Gotcha. So Blue gets out to check out the bridge. How about everybody else?
I think Ellie will keep a lookout for anything sketchy, or especially her twin sister.
Mhm.
Would you like me to roll for
Yeah, let's get to
Every now and then I'm going to hold up a mirror right behind her and freak her out. I'm so sorry, but inappropriate too soon, I know.
too soon.
Goblin bully, I'm sorry, guys. I'll stop.
Goblin
Ellie
bully.
will
What the
throw,
hell?
Gildan off the. No, just kidding.
Drag him behind. Oh!
As a creature that was inside the tiny hut, he can pass through the barrier. So, yeah, go ahead and give me a perception test, a check if you are sort of on the lookout and keeping your eyes open.
Yeah, Icky's on the lookout. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Okay, so Ellie
What's
and
going
Nikki are
on?
the lookout.
I got it.
Yeah.
Too.
She's not gonna leave Ellie's side right now, but she is on the lookout.
Okay.
I got a +5.
I got a 19.
I got a 16.
16, 19, 2 for Ellie. Myrrh is doing other things, I'm assuming.
She's just handling the skiff
Gotcha.
and not smashing Patata.
Of course.
Hakuna Patata.
Hakuna Patata. So for
What a wonderful spud.
Baloo, you've gotten down, and there's a path that leads through the grass that leads to this bridge, of course. And as you get to it, it does look like most of the forts on one side were knocked out or washed out or something. The whole bridge is tilting at an angle and completely impassable unless you want to do like a balancing act to try to cross it.
Mm-hmm. But the skip couldn't get across.
It'll have difficulty getting across. The air elemental will have a chance to wrest control of the skiff away from Myrrh.
Mm. Huh. Is there any way to placate the air elemental?
Possibly. You haven't really
Possibly.
talked to it before, I don't think. I think Myrrh's the only one who's really had any connection with it so far.
Mm-hmm.
We're great. Likes to go. Go.
You get down in the water? Like, are you just on the shore?
It's freaking hot. I might get in the water.
Okay.
Let's see why not.
Yeah. It's it's warm, but not unpleasant. And as you get down there, you can get a much better look. Something came along, and these supports do look as though they've been sabotaged.
Okay. I'm gonna shake off like a dog and go back to the group and tell them somebody knock this bridge out.
Perhaps it was Ellie's sister.
Maybe.
Not wanting anyone to follow.
Do we get a sense of how strong somebody would have to be to knock this bridge out? Like if it takes multiple people, or if like one person Ellie's size could do it?
No, it would take a pretty significant force.
Or magic.
Or magic.
No, one of the two.
Icky will look at Myrrh and ask Myrrh if she senses any of those strange magics.
I will concentrate for 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
Might as well, we're in a hut.
Yeah.
It's nice in here.
It's very nice.
Those of you on lookout do not spot anything. The grass is still, nothing stirs it, and you don't, nothing sneaking up on you or anything. As Myrrh is channeling her energy in order to detect the currents of magic, you find that there are faint traces of evocation magic, or at least the effects that are in the air here. Judging by how long, or judging by how much it's faded, and your sort of like warden's instincts, you'd guess that this was within the last 8 hours.
Magic took it out about 8 hours ago, or maybe sooner. At some point recently. It could have very well been Ellie's sister trying to sabotage the following path.
Well, she's resourceful. I'll give her that. I'm starting to like her. It makes sense. I like Ellie.
I look at Baloo and
She tried to kill Ellie.
oh, I like her. And I'm like,
I'm not saying she's not a bad person. You know, just like like.
trying to kill me?
No,
I almost died.
You're fine.
Made you
now.
stronger.
In here.
Yeah, you're okay now.
Icky will pat Ellie's shoulder and just say, Don't worry, he has terrible taste.
Can he not taste well? Is there something wrong with it?
No.
There must be something wrong with him. We have all suspected that he is defective.
It's kind of true. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
So Blue is sort of you let everyone know that you have a sort of an admiration for this assassin.
I just think that somebody who's as capable as they are is interesting. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't mean to stir up anything. This is a harsh world. Somebody who can handle themselves is admirable.
Yeah.
Ellie, it's okay.
She almost killed me. I almost died.
It was very traumatic.
I know.
Icky will move between Ellie and Blue.
Damn
Very
it.
pointedly.
You can respect someone from their tactics and still not like them.
Well, okay, well I don't like her then.
Okay.
I just respect her.
Begrudging respect for Blue.
Respect.
God.
Respects.
That's great, Patata. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for your unsolicited opinion.
So you guys have been here for at least probably about 15 minutes or so, checking out the bridge. Mer's been casting her magic.
Yeah, so the bridge is completely out. We can't use it.
You could try to repair it. There's I imagine there's probably some creative uses of some spells. I just don't know.
I have mending.
Mending would take a while.
It would take quite a while.
All right, so describe this for me in detail. I apologize. It's like went to get a handful of croissants. So how much of the breakage is there?
One half of the bridge, the supports have been taken out, and so it leans at an angle into the river, and it's kind of miniature.
How far from? So if I was to test the depth of the river by tying a rope around Batata and dropping him in, when do I hit bottom?
It hits bottom about 8 feet.
Okay. And if the bridge was perfectly across, about how high would it be from the surface of the river? I know this is a lot of maths and things like that, but
I get you. So the bridge is slightly elevated, about a foot above where the road is, and the water level varies anywhere from even with the ground to 2 or 3 feet below. Right now, it's about 2 feet below the ground.
all right. So let's see what I can do. I've got all kinds of spells stuff that I can do. This is one of Grant Ellis's specialities. So let's see what I can do. So probably our best option is to cast Leomin's tiny hut
Underneath
in the middle
bridge.
to push it up and support it.
That is what I was thinking as well. I just wanted to.
And we can do multiple to kind of fashion it. That would be the sturdiest thing.
Mm-hmm. I could
There's a-
spend 10 minutes underwater doing the ritual there.
What are you that? Well, one, I can breathe underwater with one of my spells.
Okay.
Two, I don't need to. Okay, I see what you're saying though, and we also have to be in the hut now.
Right.
Part of it too is I simply have to be in the hut, and if the hut is a 10-foot radius, I can probably
one of them is one hut will suffice to support the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to.
All right. So
Well, Icky can hold her breath for 15 minutes. If she goes underwater, Gildan can sit on her shoulders, and he'll be out of the water. She's
here's the
6'5".
problem, though.
Mhm.
When the caster leaves the hut goes away. So we gotta prepare for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Icky can swim, but yeah, that bridge.
You
will
just have to
probably
cover
fall.
up. I have plenty of extra fabric in my
Yeah,
outfit.
yeah. It's not like she
So-
can't swim and then burrow and
That's true.
be outside in the hot sun
Yeah.
for like 5
We might
minutes.
have, there might be a few other things that we can try. Let me think. That probably seems like the quickest,
Well,
easiest.
Baloo is a fire beetle. A giant fire beetle.
Yeah, how big is Blue?
He's, I think a fire beetle is at least medium.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's medium.
You need you need to be able to get something at least large to be able to help support the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
If you're thinking about something.
I meant you could stand on Baloo
Oh yeah.
and cast it from him because he's fine in the heat. You just cover yourself up and cast on him.
All right, let me. So
And it will drive skiff.
another thing that we can do. I can't do it. Sorry, I was going to say another spell that would work is fabricate, but I am not a wizard.
No.
No.
Excellent. I think there's probably some other mold earth type spells, although that's cantrip. But Leoma's tiny hut will do the trick. And so if you're having either Icky is sort of supporting you so that you can cast it, or you are using your other magics in order to be able to breathe underwater, whichever of those you want, that should be sufficient to get the bridge at least in working order for Myrrh to cross it, and then you guys can load in after that. Does that sound like sounds like what you guys were?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Cool. So it doesn't take much more than another 10 or so minutes for Gilda and Icky working together to support the bridge with the spell, Myrrh to drive across, and then, of course, as Gildan leaves the area of effect, the bridge collapses back down into the water without the tiny hut to support it. All told, didn't have to use as much time as it would have taken to detour around it, and you are quickly on your way again, heading northeast, out of the lands of the Fellowship and into the rugged hills just north of there. The day passes, and it's from the shaded interior of the tiny hut on your skiff, you can see the landscape sort of wither under the heat. At some point, you pass by the remains of some ancient structure or settlement or some kind. It's broken walls jutting up from the grass and sandy sort of soil like broken teeth. And if the party wished to stop or whatever, it would provide sufficient shade for them. Otherwise, it is just one of many ruins of the prior age that litter the landscape around here.
Groovy.
Going on by? Seeing head nods. All right. Passing by the ruins, you continue your travels for the rest of the day. And
how far away were the ruins again?
you guys were passing sort of not like right by them, but near enough that you could see them, sort of tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think maybe. Yeah. Can I make a perception check to see if I see anything interesting like the ruins? Because I don't want Ellie's sister to be hiding there or anything. I'll just hang out in these ruins. Oh, I gotta make it a disadvantage. Oh no, where'd my dice go? Okay.
What's the terrain like?
9.
9.
No.
Yeah,
I'm so tired.
Let's go. The terrain here, you have passed out of the lands of the Fellowship, with the canals and the grass and all that. And you are in the sandy hills that are just north of there, with lots of dry grass, sort of scrubland, and are passing into even more barren hills that are up ahead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If we're really wondering, what would Grass know? Yeah, I might as well. Blue's gonna lay down on the ground next to some grass. He's gonna cast Speak with Plants, and he's just gonna be like, "Hey."
So you ask the party, you ask for the skiff to stop there.
Yeah. He's gonna talk to the grass like this. And he's gonna be like, "Grass, hey grass.
All right. Okay.
Anybody stepped on you recently? Anybody stepped on your friends? How deep are your roots, Grass? How deep are your roots?"
They're very shallow for this grass. All right, let's check this out. Let's check out.
Waiting for the grass to speak back. You think you own whatever land you stand on?
Yes. In which case I'll be like, "I know, right?" Terrible. There's a lot of self-loathing amongst the druids of his kind.
Yeah. Here we go.
What done?
Plants within 30 feet, gifting plants within 30 feet of you limited sentience and animation, giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands. This is Speak with Plants.
Yeah, I know.
So they might have information about creatures that have passed, weather, or other circumstances. Let's see if you have to make any checks. I don't think so. So Blue gets out. The grass here is, the roots are shallow. It is a dry, sort of hardy grass, but it knows things, and it senses that a creature had passed by here within the last day.
Yes.
Rather, two creatures, I should say. One of them a large reptilian creature. The other a creature that the grass didn't recognize.
Large reptilian. Like something. Did it take a bite of you?
The grass doesn't suspect it was hungry for it.
A creature you couldn't identify. Yeah, looks very different. I'm gonna request that Ellie come talk to the grass.
Okay.
Ellie, come talk to the grass. Just get down real low and say hi.
What if I'm stepping on it? I'm sorry.
I know. We heard
fine. Sorry.
Just try your best.
Yeah, she'll think that's very odd, but there are lots of things she thinks are odd. So she'll lay down on the grass and do one of these. Hello, grass. It's me, Ellie. I don't know if you can hear me.
The grass, unfortunately, does not answer Ellie back.
But I asked the grass, does this creature seem familiar?
Yes, it seems familiar.
Could you tell which way they were going, Mr. Grass? Or Mrs. Grass? Not sure how grass reproduce.
I think grass is probably agent or...
Yeah, it's probably agent.
We're going to go ahead and
we're going to assume that.
Which direction is headed? Yes. Continuing along, this time less northeast and more straight north from where you are now.
You know what, Grass? I really respect you.
I respect you too.
It's appreciative.
Sorry I'm stepping on you.
Doesn't mind. Just bounce back. Baloo's sort of, and because it animates the grass sort of is moving around, of its own volition for this.
It's actually a better spell than I thought it was. like if you use this in the forest, there's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah, there is. So Are you satisfied? Do you have or are you going to continue to commune here for another 10 minutes?
I'll talk with them about how, like, what are the largest predators. Notice anything about the reptilian creature? I'll just have a good conversation while they dance with me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this grass right here, within 30 feet of you, not much comes along. It's kind of a lonely stretch of grassland here, and it seems as though Blue has brightened this little patch of grass's day by stopping to talk with it.
Mm-hmm.
The spell ends, and Blue's connection to the vegetation is severed.
Nice. Good times.
Yep.
Well worth it, friends. Looks like we should head north of here. Seems like she was most likely definitely here, and she was with a large reptilian creature. Could be a mount, but who knows?
Yeah.
Could be a lizard folk.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Keep our eyes out.
Keep your eyes out.
Yeah. Meaning following the river might not be the best idea. Correct? Because the river kind of keeps going northeast.
Right, yeah. Okay.
But she is definitely on foot.
Well, they said there was a large reptilian creature. I asked them, did it eat any of them? It said, didn't feel like it should. Not sure exactly how that works, but, It
didn't feel threatened.
Didn't feel threatened. Okay. So, maybe, yeah. I'm going to give that a solid 60-40.
I don't know. They probably would have said if she was in a wagon or something like that, or we'd see tracks, right? So
yeah,
exactly. I thought Ellie looked familiar. And it must assuredly was.
In fact, since we're stopped, do I see tracks?
Go ahead and.
I love it. They're like wagon wheel tracks, like 20 feet away.
It's entirely possible.
It's like my own footprints.
I love it.
It's like in a circle.
I'm sorry. Is that survival?
Yes, that'll be survival.
Okay. Oh snap! Yes, 23.
Oh yes. All right. Now we're cooking. So Icky gets out during all this, and sure enough, you find several. Actually, you just find one set of tracks, but you find many of them, as someone has come along, not really taking much effort to conceal their mount, as the tracks are large, sort of wide, lizard-like or reptile-like tracks.
But not like my own feet.
No, much larger.
So definitely quadrupedal.
Yes, quadrupedal. You would guess six-legged.
Okay. Jesus.
Oh.
Can I get a sense of like how old they are? I mean, I know the grass said like whatever, but
26 and your background, you're like Icky's like, oh yeah, this is probably one of those super fast riding mounts that they sell at the auction houses.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I definitely know. Can I get a sense of how fast it was going, even with 6 legs?
Considerably. Well, let's see. I don't know that I have a mile per hour.
Well, I mean.
Yeah. You know that it is traveling very fast.
Okay.
And
so
that this it is not carrying a heavy load at all. And yeah, this sort of creature is meant for very quick trips with light cargo or a light load.
Well, at least we have a very fast mode of transit.
Stiff will overtake it eventually.
Yeah, that's what Icky will say. Not to overstep my boundaries with the black market breeder or anything, but do I have a sense of its stamina, whether it's nocturnal, anything like that?
You know that it has pretty good stamina. It can keep up this pace for several days between needing to rest, but it is primarily a nocturnal creature. So if it's not going to be able to keep this up during the day.
Okay, so it's not messing around in the midday sun then. So they're going to need somewhere that will they'll need to hide somewhere that'll actually
Shelter them.
it while it's sleeping.
Correct. Yeah.
Because even if she's got blankets and stuff, he won't. So maybe caves or something nearby here.
Lots of caves to the hills north of here.
Okay. Yeah. And so she'll relay that to the group and let them know. You said we were midday when we were setting out. Where's the sun right now?
It is on its way towards twilight. So
Okay.
it's getting to be the end of the day. You've spent a great deal of it just passing through trackless grasslands and sort of low hills without seeing really anyone or anything. And so this is, at the end of the day, you've kind of come across, or really rather, Baloo sort of chosen this patch that was on the route that you were taking. So yeah, you're probably within an hour or so of sundown.
Okay, and I'm just making sure. Would I know whether or not these are Crimson Basilisk tracks?
They are not.
Excellent. That's all I want to know.
Good call.
Awesome. I just want to make sure that we're not gonna. Yeah. So I would definitely tell the rest of the group that this thing's gonna wake up really soon. We're not gonna catch it tonight, like pretty much, unless we drive straight through without sleeping. We probably won't overtake it tonight.
You can all sleep.
Setting too fast.
Gildan can not sleep and then use a spell to deny the effects of not sleeping.
Yep,
I go all day and all night and then some.
And Gildan can drive the skiff.
You better believe it. I'm proficient in land navigation vehicles. I don't know if a skiff counts, but I can try.
I am too, now that I think about it. I just didn't know if it, I just assumed because it flew that Icky would have no idea how to drive it.
Yeah,
I'm half proficient in everything.
Oh my god. Icky could have been running this into walls from the beginning.
It will require some intelligence checks.
Oh, Icky doesn't have that, no.
With Mer's help.
Yeah, I think she'd try to teach Gildan
I'm pretty average.
how to drive it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Pat you on the back and inspire you
Awesome.
to drive
right.
this ship safely.
So yeah, that's
And
what
then, like a
that's
Jedi, I trust
Oh,
my feelings and use the blessing of wisdom to double any proficiency checks on it.
neato.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's gonna put us somewhere we don't want to be. I know it.
Go ahead and make me an intelligence check then.
I'm
Gildan.
so tired.
Oh man.
We're gonna wake
All
up
right.
next to the servitor commune.
You know
All
it.
right.
You know it.
Servitor nudist colony.
Yeah.
I know you guys are just gonna be like, oh no, as like you're all shackled, and I'm like, I got the keys. And then,
That's like like he just dumps us there and takes all the servitors back to the promised land.
I got a 24
T4.
with using the inspiration.
Okay. And let's see here.
Very inspiring.
I just like how I just imagine while all this is going on, Gildan has cast heat metal, which is a spell I don't have, but we'll pretend that I do just for this, on like a helmet that I have like balanced on a wooden thing, and I'm like cooking batata right now and like adding the milk and like mashing them up into mashed batata. He's like, oh no, and then like I'm gonna start feeding him to here, Ellie. He'll make you stronger. No, sorry.
An animate blob of
Mashed potatoes.
I'm not gonna lie, Icky's like really
Mashed
gross.
potatoes.
Baloo's been replaced.
Gildan is able to understand the basics of how to operate this thing after first instruction, and so you'll be able to fly it.
Great teacher.
Everyone else is attempting to sleep. Yeah.
I am gonna recast Liamon's tiny hut
Mhm.
and hope, and I'm gonna dim it to the perfect Mur's ideal lighting, light some incense. I'm gonna try to get a good night's sleep because magic can't come through this thing.
Yeah, there's this temptation to tilt it. I know the tiny hut won't slide off, but I really wish it did. What's up?
All right.
The terrible person.
I will get pull out some pillows from a bag of holding and some silk sheets. She's gonna be like,
Gildan has a fix for your bad dreams. It's gonna
Don't do it.
cost.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
let's see how
I
they sleep
do.
tonight.
All right. Well, I played with Jim Davis before. He finds ways through those tiny
Yeah.
huts. Just understand, he had me trapped in a pyramid, naked, getting my mind melted.
Yeah, I know.
By,
Mur is trying things.
you know who made me this way? Our dungeon master did.
It happens.
Yeah.
Traumatizing players and their characters is a special delight of dungeon mastering.
Saddest people smile the brightest.
Yes. So we've got Gildan flying or operating skip. Murs trying to get a good night's rest. Is anyone else going to rest? Anyone staying up a while? You also have been, the only time you've really gotten off this thing is to fix the bridge, commune with some plants, and check for tracks. So you've been kind of stuck here for most of the day.
Go to bed.
Better take potty breaks now. We'll not get another chance for 8 hours. Icky will stay awake a little bit longer since you phrased it that way and gave me an option.
Okay.
It's like, you guys gonna stay awake a little bit longer? Now I am.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mur's tired.
Okay.
She's gonna try so hard. She's trying different things.
Mhm.
She doesn't
Yeah.
want to ask for help.
Icky will take a watch just to scan the horizon and especially take in everything. Mark her map with where they've been. Mark those ruins.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some sleep, I guess.
Lou's gonna try to get some sleep. How about Ellie?
Maybe rework my
Say,
spells.
He's paranoid. She doesn't want to be alone.
Ellie stays up, paranoid, doesn't want to be alone.
No. If there's people inside of the tent, she'll go to bed. But she didn't like go outside and be alone for her to maybe die again.
Just come back in the hut if you get attacked. They can't come in.
She's definitely sleeping in there.
Definitely sleeping in there. All right. So it looks like for a while, it's Icky and Gildan up and on the lookout and operating the skiff. Now, even at night, there is, it doesn't really get dark here during the summer. There's always dim light at night that you all can see by. And operating the skiff, after a while, this thing wants to go as fast as you will let it, as faster than is probably safe, Gildan. And you can feel it. It has a drive, an intent, a will for speed that you kind of have to rein in.
Rein in, I shall.
Okay.
Rein in, I shall.
All right then. How about Gildan and Icky give me perception checks? And yeah, go ahead and give me some.
All right.
That's a nat one.
19.
I mean, it's a 6 altogether, but let's be honest, it's a nat
21.
1, so.
There are only auto failures on attack rolls.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, 6.
This is rough. Rough there for Icky.
So it's not looking good, fam.
In the distance, you can see the hills as they rise above the grassland. Gildan can see this, and from one of those hills, you spot a fire. At great distance. It will take you some time to get there, but you see it like a momentary beacon across the landscape.
We are headed straight way for the fire. And I don't know if I have any weird things that'll help me in this situation. I'll try, but yeah, we're headed towards the fighter, and in family, I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out some weird thing that I can do. And when we get close, I don't know how successful I'll be though.
Does Gildan tell Icky there's a fire?
I think she'll smell it as we get a little closer. It's a ways off, right?
It's a ways off.
How big is it? Campfire or something on fire?
Looks like maybe a small campfire. It's like really tiny in the distance.
Okay.
Ooh. All right. So how far away is it? Just roughly. I know it'll take me some time to get there. I might go in on foot.
Okay. So
yeah, how loud is the skiff?
the skiff's actually really kind of quiet, unless it's like over like a real rocky desert and kicks up a lot of debris. But otherwise, it's pretty quiet. You are right now. Your sort of survival instincts are telling you you're somewhere between 3 and 4 miles away. At the skiff's traveling speed, that is at least an hour, possibly an hour and a half, unless you want to push it further, which it is more than willing to let you attempt.
Yeah, I'm gonna push.
Okay.
We're living on the edge. No risk, no reward.
Okay. I need, in that case, how fast? Number one, how fast do you go?
Maximum speed. There's a speed, we go the maximum.
Okay.
I want to stress the engines too.
Right.
What are we gonna do? Are we gonna be like a bunch of little? All right, I'm gonna safely drive this thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna use my blinker. You're in a tiny hut. It could blow up and you'd be protected.
Mer, this is your fault. And I'm gonna let you know when you wake up.
Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate
yeah!
it. Mer's just gonna regret a bunch of life
telling.
decisions.
Yeah. Okay. Maximum speed. I need
As much speed will kill us, then back off just a little bit.
all right.
Maximum.
Let's see here. Where's my I need to pull up my stats real quick because this thing gets to make an attempt to break free.
I want to break free.
Bonds are stressed.
I was gonna do it.
Were you?
Well, Grant beat me to it. I was gonna do it.
Oh, I don't think that's going to work. I rolled a 3. I doubt that let me check my modifier real quick, but I have to make a charisma save to try to break free of the bonds here with my elemental, and yeah, that's not gonna happen. You can feel it. The whole skiff begins to start vibrating and shaking. It's enough to wake up those of you who are asleep, as the hut kind of is rocking back and forth. But Gildan manages to cover the distance in less than 30 minutes.
Now this is pod racing. Sorry, I had to.
Right.
Are you an angel? I'll stop.
What a clown!
Yes.
What an actual clown!
Atreyu.
Baloo, you best get your boy.
I can't control him anymore. Not even a
Get your
little.
boy.
I'm trying.
Why are we
Get outta here,
going so
boy.
fast?
I need both hands to drive. I literally feel like I need both hands to drive right now.
Right, yeah. So
He doesn't listen to me anymore.
Gildan has punched it. What's everybody's reaction here?
I will wake up and just ask, why are we going this fast?
Because we let Gildan drive.
Go back to sleep before I cast silence on you dummies. I mean, I
Die? What's going
you
on?
could die at any moment, Ellie. You're very sick.
I know this. I almost died yesterday.
We saved you. We'll save you again.
Well, it was mostly Mer and her friend. But okay.
In this life, you have to choose, Ellie. Are you going to mosey or are you going to fly? We're the flyers.
Who is Mosey?
Mosey is kind of this ding-dong pace that slow people travel. Sorry, my phone just flashed up the word. Someone on Twitter with the handle ding-dong followed me, and I was like, yeah, but Mosey's a very ding-dong pace.
Sure. So Ellie's awake. Mer and Blue, you will be awakened soon. The terrain here is quickly going from nice sort of gentle rolling grassland with a few sort of hidden divots and heaves in the land to very rocky and uneven hills. And I need Gildan to make me another intelligence check to maneuver the craft.
All right. Pushing my luck.
Mhm.
All right.
You're like in the hills though.
We're gonna crash.
That one! I got a 7 with all my special abilities. Wait, don't I have that thing that lets me re-roll?
Do you have a reroll?
I don't know.
I don't think I
You've got so many
do.
tricks. You've got
Mer
so many
did give him
tricks.
inspiration, right?
I
Yeah,
used it
yeah.
already.
Tuesday.
She's asleep.
Gildan, no!
If you break my ship. Mer's worst day ever.
Not good, very bad day.
Sure you
I'm just gonna move back to hell.
I don't
It's
know if
better
I
there.
have any. I don't know if I don't know if I have any more like things that I can do in this situation.
Maybe throw a potato at it. I don't know.
Do I have something that lets me redo checks? Do I have something that lets me redo checks?
I'm proficient in land vehicles. Can I assist him?
Well, I mean, like if it was a wheeled vehicle or a
Oh my
chariot.
god!
She could be shouting out instructions.
And,
All right, I'm gonna quickly cast Death Ward on myself, then explode with everyone else.
I hate it.
Wow.
No, I don't think I have any.
Inky and Gilder kind of like over the controls. Ellie's just sort of woken up. Everyone else, Baloo and Mur, the craft is shaking quite violently at this point. As
I assume this wakes Mer up,
yeah,
and I immediately like bolt up and just grab the ship. Weird.
You're not. I will fight you for these controls.
as this is happening, Skip hits something in the landscape and goes careening through the air, trailing a trail of debris, grass, rocks, and the like, before physically slamming into the ground
Oh my
and
God.
rolling twice. Need everyone
Good
to
thing
make
we have the hut.
everyone in the well. I guess you guys are all in the hut, so no deck saves are needed to see if you fly out. Actually, you can pass.
Yeah,
through.
we can fly out of the
I
hut.
think the deck
Yes,
save.
we-
I hate it. I knew that, like, the minute she was like, hey, I have, oh my god, and of course.
Can we, like, can we make an action?
Yeah, you have time. You have time. This is all happening over several moments.
I would like to try and regain control of this vehicle.
Okay.
Help
Mur
me.
is trying to regain control.
I knew the minute she was like, we have this skiff,
Damage
there was like a
control.
glint in your eyes, which was like,
Yeah.
do you? I was like, no!
I will cast Spirit Guardians around me and they will slay it. No, I'm just kidding.
God, I hate
I
it.
need to get
I'm just trying to damage control. Like basically, don't hurt this ship, baby. It's okay.
No,
it's
this
okay.
is. I got this. I got this. Believe in me.
I want to break my fall with Gildan's body.
All right, let's piece this together here real quick. Mur is trying to get control of the skiff away
Yes.
from Gildan to
I know. I realize we're gonna hit things, but she wants to at least minimize damage so that it's still viable.
minimize damage to the skiff. Gildan, you're resisting control? Or you're
I
gonna try-
have to look. I'm at the wheel, and I figure if this is all happening simultaneously, if I hit something, I can't wait for someone to move and try to move me out of the seat.
Well,
and to
thankfully
control. I just
you're
gotta-
you're short, and I can just reach over.
This is
you.
true. You are tiny.
And Gildan and Ellie.
blindness. I cast blindness on Mur.
I don't need to see. Believe me.
What do Ellie and Baloo do?
Ellie rolled a 9 on
Uh-huh.
her deck
Yeah.
save.
Oh, I rolled a 23 on my dex.
Icky's gonna grab Ellie like as quickly as she can to just like shield her with her body.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn into an animal with the maximum HP and jump off the skiff.
You're gonna
I'm gonna-
die.
Baloo
I'm gonna
jumps.
Yes, I'm gonna polymorph into the strongest animal. I don't have my monster's manual with me, so I don't know what animal that is. But
Gotcha.
it's big.
Baloo's bailing ship. Ellie's potentially knocked out. Icky is sort of using Mur or sticking close to Mur. I would like Gildan and Mur to make
Pose athletics.
opposed athletics for this kind of. If you're looking, we'll do it like we'll just treat this like a grapple. Right.
Okay.
All
Now,
right.
Come on, tabletop loot.
Sponsored.
I got a 19.
I have a 0 in athletics, so
Well, you got your half jack of all trades.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, does that apply?
My
Yeah.
strength is is
Negative?
Oh,
I have a 0.
I see. Okay.
Goblins fool, you better not outmuscle Gildan. I'll never live it down.
I rolled a
Yeah.
19.
I got a 19 too. Do I win because I have naturally higher strength?
I think this is a matter of Gildan is stronger, right? He's
Yeah.
swole, right? Like we've seen
He's
Gildan.
swole goblin.
Extremely strong.
And but Mur does have sort of height and reach
And flexibility.
and flexibility here. And so as the two of you attempt to damage control the skiff as Baloo bails and Ellie tumbles somewhere into the dark.
I just see this as Icky knocking both of us out of it and taking control and saving Ellie's life and being like, these idiots.
There is it rolls and comes to a skidded stop upside down with the
hut.
Sort of propping it up. And so it does the skiff itself only hits the ground once.
Oh, good.
And
That's good.
Not as damaged as it could be. Those who jumped ship and bailed, or those of you who failed your dex save, which was a 12, are going to take 8 bludgeoning damage from the spill.
What damage do I take from jumping?
Real quick. In this case, it's going to be 6. And the dust settles as the skiff comes to a halt, and you are in a rugged, hilly region of the wasteland here. You're looking back, you can see sort of the grassland and the foothills to this region that you just passed through. And ahead of you, your way is sort of blocked by the hills.
So who has control?
Mur and Gildan are still fighting over control.
What have you done, Gildan? I fall asleep for half an hour.
Icky's off the skiff looking for Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay.
I imagine I turned into some war beast.
Wasn't Ellie in the hut?
Ellie
you
flew
could
out.
fly out of the hut.
She flew out of the hut.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no.
Rolled a 9 on that dex save.
Oh no.
It was longer than a half hour, so you guys at least have a short rest.
Short rest? Okay, I get my
from that.
inspiration back.
Mhm. And I mean, Ellie, you're not unconscious. You're just tumbled out. You know.
I am alone though, right? In the dark.
Yeah, you're probably about at least 100 feet away from them.
Okay. And do I see them at all? Or is...
You could probably hear us.
In here, yeah.
Okay.
And I could probably smell Ellie, so.
Mhm. Yeah, she's close by.
She will definitely make her way back, very panic-like.
Okay.
And she's just gonna have really intense flashbacks of her sister trying to stab her in the dark.
Oh.
So she's now scared of the dark.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And she's just gonna kind of
Oh.
run and like look around and just like dip basically.
Yeah. Icky will call for her in a very hushed Draconic.
Yeah, she'll run towards the sound of your voice.
You probably see my glowing red eye coming towards you. It's just this giant creature with a
She
glowing
like
red eye.
panics a little bit, like I don't. She runs back to wherever she like fell because that looks really scary to her.
No, I try to herd you towards the crash. I'll herd you. while trying to say Ellie, it's me, but it come out like that.
Icky, there's a huge scary monster.
Everyone actually, so in this case, Gildan make me a perception check. Everyone else is sort of like Baloo's making these noises, this beast. Ellie is sometimes seems to be calling out.
I'm not being quiet.
Right, you have a it's not going to take you a long time to sort of reunite As I said, everything's cast in this red dim light, so everyone, even if without dark vision, you can see somewhat. How about that perception check, Gilden?
All right.
Looking at my poor skin.
I got a 22, a nat 20 plus 2.
Mm-hmm. You don't see the fire anymore.
Okay. Do I see anything with my dark vision? Do I see smoke where there was a fire?
Not within the range of your dark vision, no.
Okay.
The line of sight here is pretty difficult to maintain. Lots of broken ground, lots of things that would obscure your view. But there's also plenty of opportunities to get to high ground and things like that to better view if you'd like.
Okay. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to spend a second level spell slot, maybe. I don't know.
Baloo's going to snort the ground and kind of like point his nose toward the direction they were going and like haul like he's impatient. As in like, somebody get on my back. Let's try to catch up.
I'm going to use the spell to outrun you. Don't worry. Get someone slower on your back.
Okay.
Always trying to steal the show, man.
I know. I'm Gilden's about to retire. He's so just humbled by this failure.
Yeah.
I was sorry, guys. My very next roll from the nat 1 was a nat 20. They're random, but
they are random.
Mm-hmm. So
headed in that direction, though.
Gilden's headed in that direction. Baloo is headed in that direction. How about everyone else?
I'm gonna stick with everybody.
Look at it. Investigate it.
There are several large cracks that are running along the length of it. You don't see any major, structural damage to it, but it's dinged up, it's roughed up. There, maybe some of the ornamentation on it was scuffed up, or Myrrh is mending.
You gotta add the Bondo, sand it down, paint to match.
I don't know. Maybe the air elemental escaped.
This is probably like.
Do I sense that the air elemental has escaped?
No, you don't sense that it's escaped.
Okay.
A Christmas Story when they put the leg lamp back together. It's
Yeah.
And
That's exactly what this is.
Exactly. Who's saying?
I broke your skiff.
It was a major award.
Who's staying to sort of help out Myrrh, and who's continuing on with Gilden and Baloo?
Ooh, boy. This is the problem. Icky will pat Ellie's shoulder and tell her to stay put, and then follow Gilden and Baloo while casting Pass Without a Trace.
Nice.
Okay.
Ellie's not alone, right?
No more
You'll-
here.
Ellie will be with Myrrh,
Okay.
who is honestly the best equipped to protect her right now. So,
Yeah.
realistically,
Yeah.
no offense, guys.
No, we're all a bunch of buffoons.
I'm a buffoon, but I'm a deadly and tanky and survivable buffoon.
It's true. You alone will survive this.
On the road to this apocalypse.
If the two of us go with you, you are insured to live through it, and we will probably not.
But I can raise you if you die.
That's not comforting.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess the second question I had was how long Myrrh stays with the skiff. If you can get it back into flying shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna mend these cracks.
Yeah.
I talk to my skiff like it is going to be all right. Everything is going to be fine. Gilden will never try to again. Promise.
Mending will cover some of the superficial damage on it, but the big cracks sustained by the crash will need something stronger for that, or alternatively a lot more time than you might at the moment.
use mending for that. So you can sort of get it back into flying shape in about, it doesn't take that long to get it back, maybe 10 minutes or so to ride it. Do you try to operate it?
I think before she tries to operate it, she's gonna apologize to it again. And I think I'm gonna pull up my spyglass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look. Do I still see the other guys in the distance?
Yeah. So we've got blue.
Yeah, they're fine. I'll start work on this little big crack.
Like black bear form, but just a war beast.
Yeah, sort
I'm
of.
trying to.
Her sign.
Yeah.
And
sacrifice sort of small, like materials from my bag of holding to help mend it and stuff like that. You're like, all right, this is a very ornate ashtray or pipe or something that's gonna go in here, and I want to mend this over, and then it's mahogany, but it's fine, it's going to heal you, you'll be much better.
You get a sense that the air elemental that's bound to it is still there, hasn't broken free from its bond, and is still wanting to go as fast as it can.
I bet.
Yeah.
Can't go anywhere now.
It flies. It works. It's not destroyed. It's just damaged. Right.
Yeah, I'll hover it, and we can just stay there, and then I'll continue repairing. Because the other guys are fine. As long as it's on, I can zoom over them pretty quickly if necessary. If I hear a scream or
that's true.
Check every minute or so with the spyglass.
That's true. And then I think I might have missed it. How about Ellie and Icky? Which
Ellie's with me.
Ellie's with Myrrh, and then Icky is.
Yeah, Icky took Pass Without Trace with Gildan and Baloo, so they'll both have that +10. Can't be tracked in unless by magical means.
Okay.
Cool.
Right then.
For an hour.
For an hour.
As long as they stay within 30 feet of me. So.
Are you? How fast are you?
I'm 40 feet.
Okay, that's my speed too. So.
Yeah.
And then Gildan is. You said you had a spell that you were using to increase your.
Not at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, unless he can run 70, then.
Yeah.
I might be able to get a go faster, but I'm not going to push that right now.
Okay. You make your way further into the hills, and I take it you're heading in the direction where you last saw this fire. Do I understand you right there?
Absolutely. In fact, Gildan wants to kind of break off from the main group. He's essentially going to try to create a distraction. He is essentially beginning a Waste Witch war chant. Just come by, thaumaturgy, get a pillar of light around him, but he's broken off about 80 feet from the other tromping Baloo Icky mob.
Did he tell Icky and Baloo he was doing it?
He never tells you guys.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
But he's also little and sneaky, and he's kind of gone off. So, I'm sure he threw some hand signals. This is standard operating procedure for us. So, yeah.
Default assumption, you will even do something crazy at any moment.
But yeah, that's essentially what he's doing. He's trying to draw out, almost issuing a challenge. He is issuing a challenge to whoever was out there to reveal themselves. This is what he is saying in the Waste Witch speak, and he is essentially trying to draw out whatever was there.
All right. Gildan is making a spectacle of himself to draw out your enemy. How about Baloo and Icky?
Now they've been characterized as an enemy, and we don't know if they're an enemy yet. We just know there's something out there.
Sure. Someone.
Making a German spectacle of yourself. I'm going to trundle. I'm going to trundle maximum.
All right.
Max trundle.
Maximum trundle.
Also, I'm going to kind of keep my my giant nostrils open, looking to smell anything unusual.
Okay.
Dixie and Skitterstep are also smelling for like this giant six-legged creature, like it had to have pooped somewhere. Like
Surely.
it's
yeah.
obviously got to smell. Something's gonna smell like smoke from that campfire.
Absolutely. Go ahead, have Icky and Baloo give me perception checks with advantage due to your sort of circumstances. Ellie and Myrrh, around this time, you've got the skiff righted up. It's sort of hovering. Myrrh is placating whatever spirit is there, and so that's sort of where we're at as that's going on.
Right. 24 for my smell check.
Mm-hmm.
22.
22. Definitely the smell of smoke, a strong smell of smoke from up ahead, and there is a scent. Skitterstep sort of through the kind of, I guess you sort of communicate with Skitterstep through more like verbal commands on your part. Yeah, like do you have an idea of how he communicates back to you?
Smells.
Smells.
Yeah, lizards and insects both create different smells whenever they're anxious or trying to communicate.
Gotcha.
Like pheromones, kind of.
Yeah.
It gives Icky the pheromone of pursuit. There is something is their quarry is running.
Okay, so we are pursuing them, they're not pursuing us type of pursuit. Okay, so they, for whatever reason, they are not interested in fighting. They prefer to be hunted.
Seems that way.
Comparatively. She'll relay that to Baloo and tell them that it is now a hunt. It is not, it is no longer a battle.
Snort!
Okay.
She doesn't understand what that means, but she she assumes it's encouraging.
It is. It's very, very much so.
Skitterstep seems to be pointing in a direction that's vaguely that's more north, even northwest than the direction that you had been going in. But it, whatever scent that Skitterstep has picked up, that's the direction that it's coming from. And so it's almost you would be parting ways with Gildan even further.
Jeez, darn.
I'm casting continual flame on my skull.
Okay.
Well, luckily we both know that he can survive in the wastes on his own.
Yeah.
Somehow. By the blessing of his strange goddess.
Yes.
And Icky will point that out, that if they choose to pursue this creature that is much faster than they are on foot, they will be leaving Gildan behind in the dark alone.
I'll find you guys. You make a lot of noise.
Yeah, but you're not here to tell us that.
Passive aggressively, Baloo would be like, that's fine.
In that case, I would like to. So, like, we're both people of the wilds and stuff. I assume that there is a warden. There are like secret warden codes or something like that, like symbols that Baloo can leave on the stones to indicate to Myrrh which direction we are going.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of signs like that you can leave. Yes.
Then Icky would request that Baloo did that. She's got some chalk. She could just.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll kind of steer our way towards that together, and he'll turn back into a person. He's got a faster form that he's gonna bust out in a second here.
Yeah.
If you don't. Oh, no, I was just going to say, if Icky doesn't mind writing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Can your form take Icky? That's the problem.
Big
girl.
Yeah,
I'm using writing lizard.
That's fine then.
16 strength.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, large size 16 strength.
She big old girl.
Yeah. So you wild shape into a proper riding animal then?
Yes.
Awesome.
After we leave our mark.
Okay, so as Mur is periodically using her spyglass to sort of see what's going on, you can tell that Icky and Baloo are going one direction that's more northish, westish, whereas Gildan was heading off in an opposite direction, and now it appears as though has done something with his head to light himself up.
Yeah, but I'm also casting Sending to.
Okay.
I don't know the status of everyone else, but I'm actually going to send it to Mur, I think. And I'm essentially going to explain that there are bogies and spirits and dangerous folk, and I am attempting to draw them to me. If I die, you can have my stuff.
Message received?
You can respond in up to 25 words.
Yeah, message received. Good luck, I guess. That may not be the wisest plan, but I'll support your decision on this matter. Gildan is being suicidal again. And Icky and Baloo are headed off in a different direction. I think
I apologize
leaving him.
out of the party. I'm sorry. I wanted to play D&D for a long time, and you gave me the keys to the skiff, and I was like, maximum speed.
No, this is hilarious. This is great.
There's a reason the elementals can attempt to break free.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
no,
the
this is
most splittingest party in Dungeons and
The
Dragons.
splitted party.
And as Gildan heads in one direction. So give me an idea, Gildan. You're walking through this this sort of rough terrain here. The red light of the unseen eye of the hateful orc god is casting its gaze across the land, and that's where Gildan's at right now.
Oh. This has been my whole life, wandering these wastes in the night, approaching dangerous things. I'm essentially at this point going to try to look for tracks. I don't know if I've gotten to where a fire was or not, but essentially I'm trying to spot movement, tracks, see if there's signs of flight. Is there signs of ducking for cover? Was this person just out in the open? But essentially that's what I'm trying to do, and I want them to know that I am coming, and I am Gildan, and I am one to be feared, but I am also alone.
Okay. Give me a survival roll for that.
Cool. That's my bestest rolls. I think anyways. Let me double check on my sheet where I... Yeah, that is my bestest rolls. Thank goodness. Nat 20, 25.
Sweet. You see as you're heading in this sort of direction, you see a set of tracks similar to the ones that Icky found earlier this day. It looks like you're coming, as you come across them, they're sort of headed the other direction, downhill, and making like a loop slightly south before heading back northwest. But they are headed down from one of the taller sort of summits here in the hill, and you can sort of tell that there's a lot of like shelf caves and the like at the top of this particular hill.
Going to follow the tracks. I'm going to try to make as much sense out of them as possible, and I'm going to be calling out. Now, can you refresh my memory? Sure. Did Fake Ellie give me Fake Ellie's name in the pyramid back when I first met her?
Ooh, that is a very...
It might be in the notes.
Yes, it is in the notes.
It is in the notes.
Yeah, it's like Cordelia or something like that.
That's fine.
Like at the very... I don't know if it's her real name, but I think she gave him 2 names.
I will use the name that she gave me. Cordelia. Cordelia, I can smell you.
Here's what the notes say, that Gildan called her Nellie,
and Corsica was the name.
Corsica. Dang, that's a good name.
That she
Did I not
Corsica.
write them down?
You did.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Okay.
Not Ellie was Nelly. I got
No,
that.
Nelly's,
Oh my god.
and we were a false Ellie.
I don't know if I'm mad or not.
Uh,
Yes, Nelly, Corsica, and then Cortica. He was like intentionally messing up her name.
So yeah, that's what's.
That sounds about right.
It's on brand.
It's on brand.
Corsica. I'm calling out the name Corsica. I see you. I hear you. I smell you. Come eat dinner. It's dinner time.
As you're walking up the hill, sort of following where the tracks came from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what Gildan's doing, and using thaumaturgy to increase your voice.
Everything, yes.
Everything. So
Trying to get out all the Gildan pheromones tonight.
So as Icky and Baloo head one direction, sort of this northwest, and we'll return back to Mur and Ellie. You've got the skiff as repaired as you.
We're able to get it right now. Yeah. Okay. Well then, I told her already that Gildan has been suicidal and that Icky and Baloo have abandoned him to his own devices. He informed me of his plan. It is a distraction. There are things. They're going to eat him. Something like that. Let's kind of slowly and quietly ease in. Gently. Like close. In the general direction that I saw them.
Okay, well, I trust them to be okay, so I guess I shouldn't have to worry about them too much. And she takes out her great axe and she kind of like hugs it, like she holds it close, and then she kind of looks around.
Everything will be all right. Do not worry. Stand close.
Y'all are following Baloo and Icky or Gildan?
Just because we were a good ways away. She's gonna head in that direction first.
Okay.
Slowly. Kind of try to stealthily if she can, and then
knowing that they can't be tracked, Icky will have left a couple markers for the direction they're going.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then just try to see what Baloo is even doing with my telescope as we're like slowly kind of creeping up, and then looking out for tracks or messages from Icky.
There's a. It looks like Baloo's maybe sniffing the ground, traveling at a fairly quick pace, but also clearly keeping, sort of keeping track of something that you can tell. You have lost sight at this point of exactly where Gildan is, but you can still see the light from him.
Mm-hmm.
You have an idea of where he's at, just not eyes on Gildan.
I pull up with my spyglass.
There's just like a lot of stuff in the way,
Okay.
Gildan's casting locate creature on Corsica if she's within 1,000 feet. That's my 1/4 level spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
Is she within 1,000 feet and in a general direction?
No.
Okay, so she's gone farther than that. That's fast.
Unless
she was never here.
Let's see. Real quick, you have the spell handy. Let's look at the details of it. But I don't think you're gonna be able to detect anything with it, unless you get a false positive from Ellie.
Okay. So if she's not polymorphed and there's not 10 feet of water, so I've named her and she is familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
Since the direction to the creature's location. This is a divination spell, so she has non-detection up. I can't find her. There's a couple different things. Also, if there's running water that's at least 10 feet wide blocking us.
Mm-hmm.
And she may have gotten further than 1,000 feet, though 1,000 feet's pretty far.
Pretty far, yes.
If she was actually here. This is just an option.
Mm-hmm. So Gildan is sort of casting the spell, looking out as you're sort of chanting her name and walking up the hill here. Your voice carries out across the hills, however, and everyone here. The night is still. The air is conducive to sort of Gildan's voice traveling and echoing through the
tiny canyons and ravines of these hills. So you can all hear him at least. Let's come back to Baloo and Icky.
I think if he's doing that, we'd probably follow Baloo and Icky because they're a lot stealthier, and we'll be able to hear if Gildan screams and know where he's at.
This is very true.
Gildan's not a screamer, right, Baloo?
That's true.
You know from your steps, pheromones, that you are not necessarily gaining ground with your quarry, but are at the very least keeping pace with it at the moment. You've been both Iggy and Baloo have been on this for a couple of minutes now, tracking after it.
Yeah. I mean, keeping at it. If there's any, if we ever catch sight of her, maybe try to. Gosh, I don't know. Because we knew Grant went eastward.
Eastward,
We saw him go eastward. If we can kind of send her more eastward, maybe that might be better. Do I know the area well enough to know any kind of natural obstacle or hazards that would be coming up?
Yeah, you know the terrain here fairly well. I mean, this specific location, maybe not,
Okay.
but you're familiar with this sort of landscape and terrain.
Okay.
Mhm.
But if not, just trying my damn little lizard best, pushing myself.
Okay.
As push it to the limit
Okay.
on the razor's edge.
And then
Okay.
depending on how fast Murr and them are coming up, they might be on you pretty soon, and the y'all's two groups will be together again.
Yeah. Icky will be like dragging her javelin in the ground a little bit to scuff up the ground, to kind of like make divots so that they can follow and know what direction they've gone in.
Mhm.
But she's not going to make any attempts to hail her or try and like get her attention or anything, because that makes the entire point of that spell pointless. Yeah, it's mostly get as close to her as possible, try to figure out where she's going. Do I know if there's any like buildings in the area that she would try to hide in? I know it's like dead of night, so they could probably just go straight on forever and ever, but she might not want to race that far. Do I have a sense, using my survival's instinct, of where Ellie had kind of like pointed a general direction for the tower, pointed like the basilisk stuff, how far, what direction we might be in related to that?
You are north of all of like sort of the ruins that you passed earlier today. You know that there is a sort of a wasteland encampment to the east of here that is used as kind of like a communal waypoint or stop along sort of the routes that wind their way through the wasteland. But that's to the east.
Yeah, she wouldn't stop there. Not a criminal like her.
And,
she needs to hole up somewhere else.
Mhm.
If she holes up at all, she probably rested through the entire day. But if she does,
yeah. It's possible. This, like I said, this landscape here is filled with lots of little shallow caves and the like. So there are lots of places to hide and lots of places to hold up. You, as Murr sort of comes across, or sort of Murr and Ellie come upon Icky and Baloo here, you have a sense from Skitterstep that the creature ahead of you is moving quickly, but not like at a breakneck or
that's
that
what I
kind
was
of pace.
thinking too.
Mhm.
So it's like, is there anything that indicates that they're moving faster than before they put their campfire out and everything? Like, do they feel as though they are being pursued by somebody who will catch them and destroy them? Or are they being more catch me if you dare with it?
That's a good question. I think like so Skitterstep smell has these sort of like, it sort of smells a lot of things that animals and living creatures sort of give off. And your impression that you get from Skitterstep after a bit of this is that you're being led.
Yeah, like, is this a what she'll ask Skitterstep essentially is this a wolf spider who is leading us back to its nest to eat us?
Skitterstep's unsure, but it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, as soon as Myrrh and Ellie get close enough, then like Icky will tell Baloo to stop, and she'll convey that like as well as she can. She'll tell Baloo, we are being led into a web.
Okay. And let's come back to Gildan here. So you're walked up the hill. You've got your thaumaturgy, your lights, everything else, and you're within sight of a shallow shelf cave that it doesn't look particularly deep, but you are staring at the mouth of it. I think you're muted, Grant.
I was just saying, wasn't supposed to spend my 4th level spell slot on locate creature, but I became obsessed. I was supposed to use it to cast Divine Guardian on the campsite and just summon a giant hag puppet to be like, bam, 60 points of radiant damage, bam.
Darn.
So here's.
Jeez. Ugh.
So there's a shelf cave. All right. I think rather than doing any preparatory spells, it's best to go charging in with my glowing head that gives like off a bunch of light, and I'm loud and I'm noisy. I'm just like, and I'm just gonna like Gildan my way on up there, and be like, Corsica, it's dinner time, and I'm going right down into that cave, and I hope it closes like a giant rock dragon or something, and that's how Gildan dies.
That's how Gildan dies. It's a mimic. It's the maw of a giant mimic.
Jump into the Sarlacc pit.
Gildan approaches the cave, and the smell of a recently extinguished campfire is very strong here. You can see some scattered stuff that's around here, as well as a disturbance in the dust near the entrance to the cave that indicates maybe someone was lying down or something. But you've come across a recently extinguished campfire and the remains of some sort of camp. You appear to be alone.
Well, it appears that I have found a campsite. Perfect. This will make a good place to rest for the night. I'm checking the ground. Any footprints coming or going from here? Any places where it looks like a creature may have been tied up?
You find a lot of lizard prints around here, as well as a place where it bedded down for a while, but you don't see any other types of tracks or anything.
A lot of lizard prints. Is this where Medusa gets me? Thanks, Mud.
I mean, it's like the big ones that you've already seen before.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna just see if I can investigate a little deeper. There's things. Do these look like things they would have left behind because they're very wasteful and they're waste things, or things because they left in a hurry? Am I able to discern and deduce from this situation?
They look like things that were non-essential. And that whoever was here did leave in a hurry.
Every part of the buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if I might be able to divine some information off these objects. But I need to start like reading through all my spells before the game. I don't play as much D&D as I used to, but it's okay. Let's.
Yeah. Do you need a second to sort of see what Gildan's going to do?
Yeah, let's cut to someone else, because I might know something.
So the rest of you traveling further and further away from where Gildan is at. pursuing this scent that Skitterstep has picked up. I'm going to go ahead and say Mur, Ellie, Icky, and Baloo are all sort of back together now, and you're there. You go.
If we find my evil twin, are we gonna kill her, or are we gonna ask her questions?
Well, I would prefer to ask her questions, but if she's very uncooperative, we might just kill her. But I would prefer to keep her alive and ask her questions.
Icky knows else that she needs to know about this evil twin, so she's like, maybe she dies quickly, maybe she dies slowly.
Ellie's still unsure of what to think of this.
Maybe instead of dying at all, she becomes enslaved forever. I don't know. It's a tragedy.
Icky will look at Ellie and say, "Do not worry. You will get first bite."
Okay, I wasn't planning on biting her, but I really don't know what I'm gonna do if we find her.
It's true. Your teeth are soft.
Hmm.
I will chew for you, and then you bite.
I soften it up.
Like a little baby bird.
Mama bird.
Just loan her your dentures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So are we continuing to?
That's the question. So, like,
follow this?
are you guys going to continue to follow, or are y'all going to backtrack then?
Icky would prefer to backtrack now that she suspects that she is being led onto home turf, and will make that clear, but she's not going to dictate it to the group, like hardcore or anything. Whatever they choose, she'll do.
All right. So Icky recommends backtracking.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard any screams from Gildan, so he's most likely still alive, and he went to that way.
Unless he got stabbed in the lungs.
Oh, if only we were so lucky.
We're gonna have to listen to Baloo talk about Gildan the entire ride over
Yeah.
him. Like, I just can't believe that he's been like this. What would you do?
But
He's been so
Tata
different.
hears every word.
I wouldn't.
Good.
You guys are backtracking then?
We should.
Excellent.
We should.
Gildan, do you have a formulated a plan?
It won't work the way I want it to. I need to start. Well, I'm higher level now than when I met some of these characters in this campaign. It's like, oh, I should use clairvoyance to blah, 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 blah. I should plant such and such object on blah, 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 blah. I didn't have those spells back then. I wasn't high enough level. So I think what we need to do is we were driving through the night. Essentially, I've screwed it up. The whole reason for me to be awake was to... I don't need to sleep during the night. However, I kind of ruined that for everyone. I woke you all up. I caused you to wander the desert. I think my plan is Mur take the wheel and I'm going to sleep.
As Gildan is sort of, you're sort of... I think we may have lost TK.
As she got pissed and left.
She's done.
Gonna walk. Come back, TK. We'll miss you. There is a sort of Gildan is decided we're going to just get back on the skiff, go back to sleep, wait for everybody else gets there, and I picture Gildan maybe as a little dejected or slumped shoulders or something.
It's like Buzz Lightyear right now. And I will go skiffing no more.
You hear something coming from the back of the cave.
Something coming from the back of the cave?
Mm-hmm.
What does it sound like? Describe the sounds to me. Is it scratching on stone? Is it a grumble? Is it... All right, I'm casting silence on that mother effer. No, I'm gonna... all right, I'm going to cast another continual flame at max range in front of me into the cave.
See something, definitely a humanoid, a person of some type, not wearing a lot of clothes, and your the light of your spell reveals a creature that is odd looking and bizarre, bound, wearing some sort of leather harness maybe, and struggling against
Gimp is sleeping.
against his bonds.
Detect evil. Is this an evil creature?
He's not an evil creature.
All right.
Sorry,
It's okay.
my computer blue screened.
I just want you to understand that Ellie died because you dropped. No, she
Oh,
didn't
cool.
die. No,
Oh, neat. Thank you.
she didn't die. But she needs you. So
Oh, okay.
we miss you when you're gone.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, all right. Let's do this. So I'm approaching this creature. And I'm gonna speak in my best Gildan voice and be like, 2 blinks yes, 1 blink no. Do you want me to ungag you?
There's the struggling creature sort of stops, and you see a face turn and look at you, and 2 eyes, very weird, right? Like a lot of white in them and a vibrant sort of color. Look at Gildan and just blink more. You can't tell if it's blinking at the light or blinking because of what you said, and it understands you.
All right, slow down. Hold your horses. We've got to do this the old-fashioned way. And Gildan steps into the light and says, "Nod if you know who I am. Do nothing if you do not."
And the person there sort of like has a look of panic or fear, and is trying to like roll away from you. It's like, hands bound, and doing his best to keep.
All right, here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use another 2nd level spell slot. I should have one more after this to cast Calm Emotions on them. All right, I'm going to give you the injection now. Relax.
You sense that the bound person relaxes.
All right. So I'm gonna ungag you, and I'm removing the gag. Please don't bite my hand. I'd be so mad. What is your name?
It's just begins speaking in a really it's difficult to understand exactly. Just seems like gibberish.
Okay. This is obviously am I able to discern the lineage of this creature? By that is it human, lizard folk?
There's a striking resemblance to the human. Not resemblance to the human that you know, but certainly a human-like quality. Skin is a dusty skin tone, and you can see it's got sort of a beard that's been very well maintained, but is at this point covered in
metagaming. Did you used to be stoned? No.
And but you can see well-defined muscles.
Absolutely, I oil him up.
And wearing a getup that is neither practical nor much of anything really. And here, Mur and the rest of the crew will arrive on their skiff around this time. So you guys were backtracking to find Gildan, yes?
Yeah.
And it's easy enough to find him. For a while, he's shouting across the hilltops and is a bright beacon in the middle of the night. You can see the light from Gildan's spells coming from this shelf cave up a hill.
And then I think I have one last dumb thing I'm going to try on this guy. And this is kind of a long shot. Using my final, I think this is a 3rd level spell slot. I'm going to cast, let me just double check to make sure I have it. I believe I do. And I thought that I will never, ever, ever cast this. I'm going to cast tongues on myself.
Okay.
To try to understand this guy.
Mhm.
That's it. I have no more 3rd level spell slots, no 4th level spell slots. I have 1 2nd level, and I got a handful of 1st level. I guess I can do some healing words. So
there is so he's calmed. You can see he's sort of ungagged. You're still bound, right? Like you haven't untied him or anything.
Not yet, but he's calm. You know, he's swaddled. He's not bound. He's swaddled. Phrasing. Easy there, my little papoose, as I run a goblin hand down the side of his beautiful bronze skin. Easy there, easy. Goose fraba. And
You're not going to kill me, are you?
No, I don't kill things. My light, my camera. No,
How dare you?
I don't, Mama. I heal things. Are you wounded or ailed or troubled in any way?
Well, not that I know of, but
then why do you feel so? Who did this to you? Who?
He looks around the cave. She's not here anymore, is she? The snake one?
No. Snake.
And he just kind of like, you can tell that the gears are turning inside whatever human brain that it has. Now, the rest of the party, you see the light up the hill. You're still a bit of ways away from this particular, cave. I'd like everybody to make me a perception check. Skitterstep can as well.
Gotta roll at disadvantage.
Well,
14.
Dirty 20 for Icky and a 13 for Skitterstep.
Okay.
I perceive the average human, as in I perceive with a 10.
Right. And how about Ellie?
I got a 12. Or what?
12.
Yeah.
Icky sees 4 figures creeping up the hill. They do not seem to be, I mean, they seem like they're trying to conceal themselves and sneak up. From this distance, it's hard to tell if they're armed or what kind of creatures they are. Definitely humanoid, though, as you can see them flitting from shadow to shadow, heading up to the cave.
She'll point it out to Myrrh.
Okay.
I pull out my spy glass.
All right.
It's your favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Icky will also take out her short bow.
It's very helpful.
Yeah.
She doesn't get to shoot things with bows very often, so she's feeling it.
Yeah.
Very true. And with the spyglass, you can tell that they are odd sort of figures. They remind you more of lizard folk than any other sort of creature that you've seen. They move with a kind of jerky swiftness, very still when they're still, very quick when they're moving. And there's 4 of them. 3 of them are very bulky and seem sort of have a mass, a heft to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the 4th is more lithe and graceful, and is bringing up the rear of this quartet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relay this information as I observe.
Jim, really quick, I'm going to cast Protection from Poison on Ellie, because not again.
Because not again.
So that is something I'm doing.
Okay.
For an hour, you are protected from poison.
For an hour, protected from poison. And back to Gildan then.
All right. So, snake people.
All of my lighting is gone.
Oh no.
I'm in the dark.
So here's what Gildan's going to do. He is going to hide. No, I'm untying the human,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be like, all right, this is the way we do this. I'm gonna untie you,
Right.
and then you and I are gonna go running as fast as possible to my place. We're gonna be running back to a little skiff, which is kind of like a flying car with an elemental trapped inside, and you shouldn't drive them too fast. But here's what we're going to do.
Oh, just a hold up. Why would in the world would I ever follow a goblin out of his cave somewhere else? I don't even know you. You got to get me out of here.
How many other people have you met in the past few days that speak your language and can make you feel really calm and untied you when you were strung up to die,
Bad touch.
dead? I'm going to free you, and I'm just saying
Bad
this.
touch.
I'm 2 days from retirement, and you're my ticket out of here. I don't know. That felt like an 80s cop movie thing to say. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to cast ceremony and marry this human. No,
What is going on?
Slowly losing it. So
this is what I'm going to do, though. I'm thinking. This could end bad. I'm going to use command on him, and my command is one word. Flee that way, and I'm gonna point, just kind of like go, like snap my finger, dog point, and I'm hoping he runs that way, and either A, the things I was trying to find earlier are going to kill him with javelins, and he falls dead, or he's gonna make it back to my pals.
all right. I rolled an 8 on my save, and my bonus, I believe your DC is 14. And the human male in his erotic garb.
Oh no! It is him!
Runs
Yeah,
out of the cave.
it is him.
Myrrh, Ellie, Baloo, and Iggy can see
Yes.
this, although you see it in silhouette, right? He is backlit.
Uh-huh.
And you can see this humanoid creature fleeing, and the 4 figures
Do
creeping
we see
up.
a little goblin-sized thing behind him?
So I don't know, I guess Gildan sort of,
No, I'm staying put because I'm
Okay.
curious if this guy's gonna die or not.
and there is a moment as these 4 figures seem to stop, and then look like they are preparing to attack. And I'm going to call it early here tonight because
Oh.
we're slowly turning to mush. And this seems like a good place as any, as we'll have to figure out what happens to this mysterious,
I know
mysterious
what I
figure.
want to do. It's sad, but I think it's... Yes, this is Ellie's highest order husband.
Oh no. Which it's true, I think, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Here we go, guys.
Mer has big plans for her little girl.
Ethics.
Big plan. We were
He
all
should be grateful. He would have been frozen in stone forever.
It's true,
like
actually.
that.
That's true.
It's the least he can do.
exactly.
We've been writing the story of Myr's arc into the creation myth of the servitors, and this is how we were gonna
Mhm,
This
mhm.
is how humans do it.
humans.
That's how they get brought
We've
back.
been we've been
Well-
writing some really strange and long form erotic fiction is what we've been doing.
That's what it seems like it's happening. We'll have to see next week, guys, what happens with this mysterious human who is leading the group on a merry chase through the wastelands, and who these mysterious figures are creeping up on the cavern here. We appreciate everybody. Let's say our goodbyes. Josh, there you go.
Hi. What am I saying? Bye?
You know how it goes.
I know. I just got through moving, guys. Feeling pretty fresh. Feeling pretty frisky. I kind of want to be a monk right now and get rid of everything except for like a stone bench.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm surrounded by the excesses of capitalism. However, this week and weekend in particular, I'm going to try to get back to doing some art and streaming. So you guys patiently wait for that. It might come. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Beard for Charity. You can find me other places too at Beard for Charity. Just Google.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Get back in that streaming pretty soon.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. Anna, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. I can't wait to see who this guy is. I know, but Ellie doesn't. But maybe it's not him, and we just assume it's the guy from the one shot.
It's the only human male in existence in erotic outfit. I'm sure it's the.
Yeah, I think so too. But we'll have to wait till next week. But yeah, you guys can find me places like Twitch at Cyborg Pizza. I do lots of video games and music there, and also I'm a part of a podcast called Wander Quest. It's a Dungeons and Dragons 5e actual play podcast with a bunch of awesome and talented ladies. And yeah, just catch me on Twitter or Instagram as NB Photo, whatever your cup of tea is.
Very good.
Good story today, everybody. You're all amazing.
Thank you, Anna. TK.
It's me. It's TK. I had cake for lunch. I'm TK. I write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories and you like to read spooky stories on the internet for free, you can find them on Twitter. TK joins the fray. And until my website is back up, you can find them on my Facebook, which is also TK joins the fray. Or you could just look for TK Johnson. Whatever. I don't know. Look for spooky stories. We all like spooky stories. I'm going to eat more cake before dinner, though. So there's that.
There you go. Lindsay, how are you?
I'm insanely jealous of TK's cake-based diet today. I love cake. If it was nutritionally sound, I don't think I'd eat pretty much anything else. I love it so much. It's really good. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. This is real interesting. Mer's had the most interesting past few days. She's almost done. She's never letting Gilda drive the skiff again.
Almost got a good night's rest.
Almost got a good night's rest. But I feel like she'll be reinvigorated once she finds Ellie's heist-ordered husband. And maybe, just maybe, Bud will be dead. We'll find out. We'll see. Next week, maybe.
I hope Frank can come back.
Frank would be awesome. Everyone was awesome. I love that group so much.
Mhm.
You can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy on the Twitches and the Twitters, doing megatons of Dungeons and Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, other tabletop RPGs and video game stuff. I'm like, what's sleep?
What is sleep? It's
I'm with Mur right now. I'm like, what's sleep? I don't remember.
Very good. Yeah, go check out Lindy. She's all over the place and always worth checking out. Grant, Gildan, as always, delights and infuriates.
I don't know, guys. It's like I haven't played D&D as a player in a little while, and I haven't taken my meds in like a month, and I'm just like, Dungeons and Dragons, and I play a goblin, and there's a flying mobile. Rah! I'm so sorry, guys.
You are never boring, Grant. You are never boring.
I just feel bad every time I open my mouth. But hi, everyone. My name is Grant Ellis. I'm an independent content creator for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and Cypher System, and I'm writing 2 books with 2C Gaming. They have a couple products coming out, TPK Handbook, which is currently on Kickstarter, and the TPK Bestiary, which was successfully kickstarted. I'm designing an entire group of monsters designed to wipe the party, and maybe Gildan will be the monster group. I'm also launching 3 shows soon for the Monty Cook game Invisible Sun. There are 8 suns along the path of suns, and the ninth sun, the invisible sun, represents the magic which light from it flows throughout all the actuality. I'd like to give, I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by D&D Beyond or Roll20, but I'd like to thank both of those products because I was able to quickly access spells and make rolls despite all my dice being in storage someplace. But within 2 minutes, I was able to import my entire D&D Beyond character into Roll20, all the spells and everything. And anytime Jim said, well, do you have the spell list handy? It was right there at my fingertips. So kudos to them for working to make digital tools to help my old man brain. So that's about it. I'll be running a show tomorrow, but I always do.
There you go. Go check that out if you enjoy some fine quality gaming. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this evening as we kind of figure out what in the world is going on here with our party and the world that they live in. Really appreciate it, you guys. Check out the show sponsor, Tabletop Loot, for dice and more. And be sure to check us out on Sunday for RPGN and Tuesday for Starward Bound. And if you like us, you want more of what we got, we also have a Patreon. You can go check us out on that WebDM Patreon there. So we love you guys. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.